In the previous lecture, we have seen the mean and variance of sum of random variables. We had two independent random variables x and y. These are two independent random variables. And let's say if we have another random variable z, which is sum of x and y. So we have seen that the mean of z is nothing but individual means of the random variable. Similarly, the variance of z is nothing but the sum of the individual variances. That was the concept we have seen regarding the mean and variance of the sum of random variables. Now on the similar note, let's say if we again have two independent random variables and their respective PDFs are fx and f of y. These are the respective PDF corresponding to x random variable and y random variable, and these two are independent random variables and the PDFs are known to us. So what would be the PDF of z when z is equal to x plus y? So I'm not going into the derivation of this. You can go through the book, BP Lathi book, for the derivation part, or else you can just remember the final expression. The f of z, the PDF of sum of random variable, that is f of z, is nothing but convolution of the individual PDFs, fx convolution fy. This is the PDF of sum of random variable. This is convolution operator. It's a very important relationship. Do remember this one. That is, the PDF of sum of two random variable is convolution of their individual PDFs. That is the concept. Okay. Moving on, we'll just have a look at one of the most commonly encountered type of a distribution, that is the Gaussian distribution and its PDF. Gaussian distribution. It is one of the most commonly encountered distribution in the communication scenario. Okay, because many naturally occurring experiments are basically characterized by random variables with Gaussian density. So we can say that Gaussian PDF is of great importance in communication scenario because many naturally occurring experiments are characterized by a random variable with Gaussian density. And its PDF, if you look at the PDF of Gaussian distribution, you will have to remember this PDF. It will be used very frequently. 1 by square root of 2 pi sigma square e raised to power minus x minus mx square by 2 sigma square. This is the PDF of Gaussian distribution, where sigma square is the variance of the Gaussian random variable and mx is the mean. Okay, this is the PDF of Gaussian distributed random variable. Okay, and if we plot this PDF, if you look at this PDF graphically, it is something like this. This is your mean. The peak value is 1 upon square root 2 pi sigma square. This is the Gaussian distribution, plot of a Gaussian distribution, and we represent this Gaussian distribution, let's say, by x is the random variable that is Gaussian distributed. It is denoted as this. M is the mean and sigma square is the variance. This is how we denote. This is a standard notation of mean and variance. For some standard condition, this Gaussian distribution is also known as normal distribution. This is also known as normal distribution under some conditions, and this is how we denote it, the scalographic n and mean and variance of the distribution. Alright, next very interesting and important topic in this context is transformation of random variable. Transformation of random variable, that means let's say we have some random variable y which is function of a random variable x. Okay, so how do we find out the PDF of y given the PDF of x? PDF of y given the PDF of x. X is any random variable and we know its PDF, and y is another random variable which is function of x. So how do we find out the PDF of y? That is the concept of transformation of a random variable. There's a very standard expression for this to find out. Let's say h of y is the inverse of this function, so this becomes f inverse y. Okay, so PDF of y, that is desired PDF, is equal to PDF of x for argument h of y into modulus of derivative of h. This is the standard expression. Very important, always remember this expression. You'll get a better idea of this transformation with the help of an example. Let's do an example, then you'll get a good idea about this. Alright, let's take a very simple example. We have a Gaussian distributed random variable with mean 0 and variance 1. Okay, and this is x random variable which is Gaussian distributed with mean 0 and variance 1. We have another random variable y which is equal to e raised to power x. That means y is a function of x, right? We say that y is a function of x. Okay, now PDF of x is a Gaussian distributed random variable, so PDF of x is, we know that 1 upon square root 2 pi sigma square is 1 here, and e raised to power minus x minus m square. I hope you remember this Gaussian PDF that we did just now. This is the Gaussian PDF, so we'll substitute sigma and m value here. So the PDF, Gaussian distributed PDF in this scenario would become 1 upon square root 2 pi e raised to power minus x square by 2, right? This is the PDF of x, right? We want to find out PDF of y which is function of x, right? So y is equal to e raised to power x. This is the relationship. So h of y would be equal to f inverse of y, that is equal to ln of y, isn't it? If we take this inverse, this becomes ln of y, right? And this is equal to x. If we find out x, if we take the inverse of this, if we take ln natural log both the sides, it becomes ln of y equal to x, right? That is the inverse of this expression. So f inverse of y or h of y becomes this ln of y, right? So dh by dy will be derivative of this with respect to y becomes 1 upon y, right? So now we apply the expression of transformation, if you look at the expression, this is PDF of x with argument hy and derivative of h. So we know PDF of x is this, but argument is now h of y instead of x. So it becomes 1 upon square root 2 pi e raised to power minus ln y square by 2 into derivative of this, modulus of this. So it becomes 1 upon y. So this is the PDF of the random variable y, and this is how we transform the random variable. Given the PDF of one random variable, how we can find out the PDF of another random variable, which is the function of that given random variable, right? I'll repeat once again. This is the given random variable x. It's Gaussian distributed with mean and variance known to us. Y is some other random variable which is function of x. X is Gaussian distributed, so we already know its PDF. We substitute the value of variance and mean here. Okay. Now y is equal to e raised to power x. So what will be x? X will be equal to ln of y. As simple as that. And this is nothing but f inverse of y. F inverse of y denoted by h of y, some another function h of y. So h of y, that is f inverse of y, is nothing but ln y, natural log of y. So its derivative becomes 1 upon y. Now the PDF of y is the PDF of x with argument h of y and modulus of dh by dy. This is Gaussian distributed, but the argument will be replaced by h of y, that is ln y, multiplied by derivative of h, that is 1 upon y. So this becomes the PDF of y, which is a function of x, and we knew the PDF of x. Using that information, we have found out the PDF of y using this expression or relationship. It's very important. Always remember how to transform a random variable. It's a very important concept. Next, we'll have a look at the covariance between two random variables. Concept of covariance between two random variables. Let's say we have two random variables x and y. The covariance, which is denoted by mu is equal to expectation of x minus mx into y minus my, where mx and my are mean of random variable x and random variable y. So first case, when x and y are independent random variable, what will be the covariance in that scenario? Let us simplify the expectation operator. Integral minus infinity to infinity x minus mx fx dx multiplied by y minus my. Okay, so since x and y are independent, so their joint distribution will be nothing but multiplication of individual distributions. So this becomes, right, so this would be equal to mx minus mx, obviously, into my minus my, and that is nothing but equal to 0. And this is the covariance mu for the case when x and y are independent random variables. Because clearly you can see, if we open this bracket x into PDF of x, that is nothing but mx minus the mean. Mean is a constant entity and integration of this PDF is unity. So this results into 0. Now on the other hand, if we suppose that if we take the case 2 when x and y are dependent, x and y are dependent random variables, what happens in that scenario? As an extreme case, let us assume that the maximum possible dependency can be what? X equal to y. This is the maximum possible dependency, or x equal to minus y. Basically, covariance gives you the variation in the two random variables. Okay, so first case was when x and y are independent random variables, you find that covariance is 0. Second scenario or case we are considering is x and y are dependent variable. Okay, let us assume the extreme, the worst possible case, or the extreme possible case, that is, this is the dependency ratio, x is equal to y or x is equal to minus y. Okay, and a mean is considered to be 0, just for the simplicity of analysis. So mu would be equal to expectation of xy now. Instead of x minus mx into y minus my, it will be expectation of xy. Alright, and since we assume that x is equal to y, it becomes expectation of x square or expectation of y square, and that is nothing but equal to sigma x square or sigma y square, because mean is 0, or it is equal to sigma x into sigma y. Is it? I hope you are able to correlate this expression. This is mean square value, and that is nothing but sigma square x plus mx. Mx is 0 here, so this becomes sigma x square or sigma y square or sigma x into sigma y. So this is the covariance between the two random variables when they are dependent random variables. Now we can derive a very important relationship from here, that is rho, which is nothing but the correlation coefficient. This is correlation coefficient. This mu is equal to, rho is equal to mu divided by sigma x into sigma y. This is correlation coefficient between random variable x and y, and it gives you the extent to which x and y are dependent. So the mu can have value between -1 to 1. And these can be two extreme cases of dependency of x and y. So this rho gives you the extent to which x and y are dependent. Mu upon sigma x into sigma y. This gives you the dependency of two random variables x and y. So if you want to find out the dependency ratio between x and y, you have to find out rho. Okay. So when rho is equal to 0, okay, we can say x and y are independent in nature. Okay, and obviously when rho is 0, that is mu is equal to 0, and mu is equal to 0 was the case when mu is equal to 0 was the case when x and y were independent random variables. Alright, so we can conclude from here that when x and y are independent, we know that mu is equal to 0. We can say that rho is equal to 0 and x and y are uncorrelated, right? But the vice versa is not true. We cannot say that if x and y are uncorrelated, then it is not mandatory that they will be independent. Vice versa is not true. Okay, please try to attempt this question based on this correlation between random variable concept. Let z be a random variable with PDF f of z equal to 1 by 2 for the range z minus 1 to 1. And let random variable x is equal to z and random variable y is equal to z square. So obviously x and y are not independent. Obviously x and y are not independent, since we can conclude from this relation that x square is equal to y. Now question is, show that x and y are uncorrelated. Let us attempt this question. Expectation of z will be equal to integration. We are given with the PDF of z, that is 1 by 2 into z, ranges from -1 to 1, and if you solve it, it comes out to be z square by 2, range -1 to 1, it comes out to be 0. Expectation of x will be equal to expectation of z, because x is equal to z, and that will be equal to 0 again, because expectation of z is 0. And expectation of y is equal to expectation of z square, because that is the relationship, and that if we expand it mathematically, it is equal to integral in the range -1 to 1 by 2 into z square dz, and if you simplify it, you get the value as 1 by 3. Okay, now you find out the covariance mu between x and y. So mu would be equal to expectation of x minus mx into y minus m of y, and if you simplify it, this mx is 0, this is 0, and this is m of y, so it becomes x into y minus 1 by 3, isn't it? This is covariance. Now if you simplify it further, it is expectation of, you can say, xy minus 1 by 3 of x, and if you substitute in terms of z, that is x is equal to z, y is equal to z square, it becomes z cube minus z by 3. Alright, now if you expand this expectation operator, it becomes -1 to 1, because we know the PDF of z, so we can easily expand this expectation operator. So, and the PDF of z is 1 by 2 multiplied by z cube minus z by 3 dz. If you simplify it, this is mu, it comes out to be 0. Now if mu is 0, what will be rho? Rho is the correlation coefficient. Correlation coefficient, it gives you the amount of correlation between the random variables. So rho is equal to mu divided by sigma x into sigma y. This is also 0. Hence we can say x and y are uncorrelated. Okay, so that is all for this lecture. We'll continue with the random variable and further the random process in the next lecture. Thank you.